From the main list, item number 1.
Malad, I request to appear on VC, Malad.
Yes, yes. That's a regular thing we do for special request actually. In view of the order passed by the Supreme Court on January 30, 2023, in SLP bracket C number 1685 2023, the hearing on the present petition stands deferred. Paragraph, let the matter appear 6 weeks hence, with liberty to the parties to mention earlier, in the event the matter before the Supreme Court is disposed of.
Very well.
Yes.
So grateful.
Item number 2.
My Lordship, I have been informed by the learned senior counsel for the HATC that the matter is still pending before the executive committee, and the executive committee is going to fix a date for hearing of the parties. My Lord, only in view of the ongoing election exercise.
Well, the petitioners submit that the executive committee of the district council is minded to hear the parties.
Yes,
and a date for hearing will be indicated shortly. Paragraph, accordingly, comma, let this matter appear 5 weeks hence.
Right.
This is the last matter, sir.
Same.
Yes, sir.
What's
The second matter is also.
Same matter.
Done?
Done. Any mention for unlisted matter? Any mention for unlisted matter?
Lordship, I'm praying for permission to mention an application seeking listing of a contempt petition before the division bench, Lordship. The contempt arises out of an order of the division bench, therefore we are making an application for it to be listed.
Contempt arises out of order passed by division
An
bench.
order passed by your... Yes, Lordship.
Very damn
Lordship, as your Lordship.
Yes.
From the main list, item number 1.
May it please your Lord.
Your Lordship, as per last order of 16 November, Your Lordship has passed so much.
Now they have got into tie-ups. No, which is good, you know. Our duty is to bring it to the notice. If they think that that is deserving, they've done it, we are happy with it. But how long can we go on with this matter? You know, we brought every aspect to the notice of the state. And the state should be spending money on the healthcare. It's a very important area. It's plus it's a thing of stitch in time saves 9.
Yes, Lordship.
It's better preventive than curative. So what do we do?
Lordship, in fact, taking a cue from what has fallen from your Lordships on the last occasion and in fact in previous orders, I in fact interacted with the officers. Now on the major aspects of issues such as medical college, number 1. Number 2, tie-ups in view of requirement for perhaps higher healthcare. And also for recruitment of medical officers. These 3 aspects, Lordship, have in fact seen some significant steps having been taken in the last 2 months alone. In December, for instance, Lordship.
What about the medical colleges?
Lordship, so far as Shillong Medical College is concerned, land is likely to be allotted in the new Shillong Township. For Tura, there was a contractual issue. That contractor has been replaced, and now my instructions are that work is progressing there also at a faster pace, and it is being monitored. And also, Lordship had in fact advised that perhaps private institutions can also be given some sort of a encouragement or government grant. Even on that aspect, although Lordship, I may not be in a position to make a statement on that, but I'm informed that there is progress even there. So a recent inauguration of a private medical college, USTM, there were some discussions with them also to perhaps provide certain financial assistance, etc. But that is in the nascent stage, so therefore I may not be able to make a statement. So far as Tura and Shillong are concerned, Lordship, these are in advanced stages. Tura is already the work has been started.
Mr. Mantha,
Yes.
I think we've done, both you
Yes.
and as the court, we've done what was required to do. Let us close it. If there are any issues which arise after some time, after all, we've also got to respect that government has constraints. It can't concentrate wholly on healthcare and ignore other areas. Government has to take care of other development, employment opportunities. In fact, one of the things, and that is something that we will refer to when the matter comes up, is that for somehow, and now that I know the state better,
Yes.
I know the state better. You see, we've been harping on illegal mining and illegal coke plants and things like that. Traditionally, the people have always resorted to primary resources to earn a living. this also comes out of a tribal culture where you exploit nature in a sustained manner. You exploit nature for your needs. Now, even though most of the tribal way of life is no longer now kind of maintained, but these people, all the indigenous people, have resorted to primary resources. Timber was banned,
Yes.
so one main area went. Then you dig under your house, you get coal, that has been banned. So where is the opportunity? That is where the government comes in. Because, as far as we are concerned, we will implement the law.
Yes.
The law requires, the Act, the Mines and Minerals Act requires things to be done in a particular manner or not at all. So that is where we come in and we implement that. But, small people who depended on coal for their livelihood are overnight left without
anything.
without any
Yes.
opportunity, livelihood.
True.
So what do? That's why, however much we've tried for maintaining a livelihood, people have resorted to small-scale kind of rat hole mining, and sometimes even unaware of the risk that if they're digging under their house may collapse. The problem is magnified by the fact that there may not be any mafia in the extraction of coal, but there certainly is mafia in transportation.
That part might be.
And people are aware of that. And that is why we hurt, because no steps are being taken in that regard. At the same time, the government has to come in and fill up, provide for other ways of earning a living.
They have not done that.
That is something which the government has failed. So there are many aspects to the problem. There are many aspects to the problem. It's not a single faceted thing or as simple as we sometimes take it to be.
My Lord, only one aspect I want to highlight.
Of the healthcare.
My Lord.
Yes.
My Lord, any medical college, my Lord, has two purposes, my Lord. First is imparting medical education and awarding degrees, my Lord. Second, it also acts as a multi-speciality hospital, my Lord. Now the second hospital that is proposed in Shillong, that is also going to New Shillong Township, where Negrims is already there, my Lord.
Where?
Where Negrims is already there, my Lord.
Yes.
In the same locality now they're again proposing, if they can explore, if they go to Rivoy or they go to, at least they can cater to the area also, my Lord. For the purpose of long-term planning, my Lord. Negrims is already there, just the next door they are going to set up another medical college. So that purpose, the second purpose is defeated, my Lord, to a large extent.
They could have it at the other end of town also.
My Lord.
At the other end of town, or near
Maybe towards India,
Yes,
towards
or
the
something.
airport they can go. They can go to Joy Road also, my Lord. That is, they can cater to that particular area, my Lord.
But at the end of the day, it's their decision. We'll just observe this.
And apart from that, your lordship, that which is a central oxygen supply system, that is very important.
Sorry, oxygen.
Oxygen.
That's also referred to in the. But to what extent? We brought it to their notice.
Notice already your early order, also this order.
We
Also.
brought it to their notice. We can't physically go and we can't appoint anybody to go and get oxygen, or we can't appoint a receiver or a special officer in such a situation. Paragraph. This matter has been pending since 2016, and orders passed from time to time come up, particularly during the COVID lockdown period. May have helped in a marginal improvement in the healthcare facilities in the state, full stop. However, comma, there remains a yawning gap in what is needed and between what is needed and what is now available. Full stop. Paragraph. There is no doubt that the executive functions within constraints. Full stop. There is only so much money available and so many heads to spend on, including healthcare, education, access, and the like. Full stop. The duty of the court in a public interest litigation of the present kind is to bring the inadequacies to the notice of the executive and sometimes suggest solutions that may appear reasonable or easy to achieve. Full stop. At the end of the day, however, it is for the executive to take a decision in the matter upon obtaining expert opinion, which may not always be available to the court. Full stop. In course of recent previous hearings, the state has bandied figures indicating that infant mortality rate has reduced in the state, as has the rate of death at the time of childbirth. Full stop. The state also claims to have added to the number of primary healthcare centers enhanced the facilities in government hospitals and recently introduced the only cancer treatment facility at a small unit in the civil hospital in Shillong. There are only a few private hospitals, and most of such hospitals are in Shillong or in Tura, and a few around Jawai. Full stop. In the rural areas, the immediate facility is the primary healthcare center, where patients may be referred to government hospitals nearby in the major towns. Full stop. Apart from the government structure and the fledgling private hospital network, Shillong boasts of a mini AIMS in Negrams, give the full form. which has advanced, which is a super specialty hospital, though it still lacks in cancer treatment facilities. Full stop. Paragraph. Pursuant to observations in one of the previous orders passed in November, the state has now entered into agreements with private cancer treatment facilities outside the state, where patients can be referred to or who may assist in the treatment of cancer in government hospitals, depending on the stage of the ailment and the state of the patient. Full stop. Paragraph. Counsel appearing for the state says that the Shillong Medical College will come up in a few years, and land for such purpose is proposed to be earmarked in the new Shillong area. Full stop. One of the appealing parties suggests that the proposed Shillong Medical College be constructed on the other side of town and may even be close to Umiam, since New Shillong already has the super specialty facility in Negrams. Full stop. There is no doubt that the state government will consider the matter that two super specialty healthcare units in close proximity may not be ideal, since other areas are completely bereft of basic facilities, basic healthcare facilities. Full stop. The state also submits that the Tura Medical College is under construction and the previous contractor has been replaced. Full stop. It is hoped that the medical college in Tura and the proposed Shillong Medical College are completed for functioning as expeditiously as possible. Full stop. Paragraph. The present suo motu proceedings may have worked itself out, since the areas of concern, including the supply of oxygen or the availability of oxygen in the state, have all been brought to the notice of the government of the day, and it is for the executive now to take appropriate steps within the constraints that it functions and subject to the resources which may be available. It must also be repeated, in the same breath, that basic healthcare facilities cannot be ignored with the rules that adequate funds may not be available. citizens are entitled to basic healthcare facilities and expect the same from the state, which the state is obliged to provide. Paragraph PIL number 3 of 2016 is closed. Full stop. In the event further major deficiencies come to light or the state government fails in its promised endeavor to augment healthcare facilities in Meghalaya, future proceedings may be initiated. Yes.
Lordship, only one aspect,
Yes.
where I informed the court that the contractor in Tura has been replaced. I just took updated instructions. They have not been replaced, but the government is assisting them in the difficulties that they faced as a consequence.
When I said contractor in Tura has been replaced,
Right.
then right, contractor in Tura. Has been persuaded to expedite the work. Yes.
Deeply obliged.
Yes, sir.
Item number 2.
Please, Your Lordship. My lords, person,
With your spectacles.
some problem with them, my lords. I was just trying to follow it up. Some change with the power, my lords.
But this is a felling of the trees, my lord.
Yes.
For the
Two
purpose
affidavits have
of,
been filed, one by the NHIDCL and one by the state government, my lords. The state government, as a matter of fact, has served me a copy just now. Now, they say, my lords, that they have my lords, appointed a committee. And the committee has, my lords, come to a finding that those 100 trees would indeed require to be felled. Other aspect they say, my lords, which is borne out by the affidavit of NHIDCL as well, is that, my lords, the land acquisition in some respects has not been completed in respect of this particular package 1. That's the first stretch that we were dealing with over here.
First stretch is from where to where?
Rilbong till Millim Marbanyang, that's what they say, my lords.
this is 11-kilometer stretch, my lord.
11.
And the flyover is a part of that package 1, my lord. Because
The date of completion?
my lord, the earlier contractor has foreclosed the contract, my lord, because of certain issues, the pipelines have not been shifted and other things, my lord. So now it has been re-tendered, my lord. The tenders will be, the last date for submission of tenders is 15th of March. The tendering is done through government portal, my lord, eprocure.gov.in. Package is worth 241 crore rupees, my lord. This is 11-kilometer stretch. So we are expecting to open the tenders on 16th.
So what do we do about this matter, the felling of trees?
My lord, as far as trees, my lord, out of 103 trees, it appears, my lord, 25 or 26 trees have been felled till now. We are not in hurry to fell the trees, my lord, but our only concern is that when we award the contract, by then it should be clear, my lord. Because the same thing will be repeated, otherwise the contractors will again, my lord.
What is the practice for felling a tree? Where do you plant?
Well, it's in the affidavit, they say, in terms of the orders passed by your lordships, that they would be planted in the vicinity. Otherwise, the practice was, my lords, they would plant it in some other region within Meghalaya. But
Over here also you must do it. Yes, plant it in some other region, but what I see, which I've told the High Court also,
My lord.
charity begins at home.
My lord.
We have been taking a lot of space recently, both for court complexes, also for judicial officers, and I went and saw a beautiful place in Nongstoin. Beautiful ledge hanging out with a lot of tall trees, and that had been allotted. It required the felling of at least 40 trees. I almost shed a tear that why can't we find a place where we don't have to kill these 40 trees. But then again, there are constraints, there are some areas are no-go areas. This is probably. So I said, what is it that we do? They said, for every tree that you fell, you must plant 10.
10 trees.
10. And I said, and what? You just plant them and come away, your work done.
My lord, what happens here, my lord? As per the government of India notification, compulsory afforestation scheme is there, my lord. So we have to plant twice the number of trees, my lord.
Maybe, but
And
you also
how
have to
is-
ensure
My lord.
that those trees survive and grow.
My lord,
For some time you have to ensure, for about a year or year and a half, you have to nurture them so that they grow.
what a scheme provides for, my lord, the land has to be acquired in the vicinity of a reserved forest, my lord. We plant the trees and along with some money, my lord, we hand over to the forest department.
And the forest department takes over.
Future care of that, my lord.
Nobody really knows, my lords, what happens thereafter. That's the unfortunate
Forest
part.
department is maintaining.
No, it's done. And you'll be surprised, Mr. Pal, there are a lot of people, particularly in this state I've seen, that they are probably more nature conscious than elsewhere,
Other parts of the country. Yes,
other parts of the country, because I think that correct is still there. We are much more ruthless, town-born and city-bred folk, we are much more ruthless about, all right, there's a tree, get rid of it. But here they think several times before doing it, which is good in many ways. Plus, a part of the culture is to worship nature.
yes, my lords.
The sacred grove and things are there, so that thing with that recklessness is not here to the extent that you'd find it in larger metropolis.
True, my lords. Absolutely.
So what do we do about this matter? We can't stop development because of this. As long as they are aware and act responsibly in accordance with the norms which are in place for that purpose,
Yes.
we have to let it be.
Your lordships have indicated in the last order, my lords, that this honorable court would not come in the way of development. My lords, I would also not pray for such. My lords, my only anxiety is at this stage is that since the land has not been acquired and the project has not really taken off, sometimes getting rid of these trees, my lords, happens at the first opportunity, and then the project never takes off. As my learned friend has rightly submitted, my lords, let the trees be felled, my lords, but at an opportune time, as and when the land is already acquired, the project is underway, and before the land is actually required to be handed over to the NHITC. So that way, my lords, I think we can balance out both the aspects.
That is.
And also, my lords, that as your lordships have pointed out, well, it's that the 10 trees have to be planted in respect of 1 tree felled. That is the directions that have fallen from this honorable court in an earlier proceeding. Let those trees be planted in the vicinity of where they are being felled, so at least the pristine glory of that area can be maintained.
I don't know whether there is land available for 10 trees to be planted.
Or at least 100 trees, my lords, so whatever
Equivalent number of trees to be planted
that much
within the
can be planted
vicinity.
there.
And in addition, that will be in addition to any further afforestation work which is required to be done.
My lords.
The matter pertains to the felling of trees. Just prompt us for the purpose of a flyover to be constructed between Ribong and
my lords, Milliam Marbanyang, that's what they say. Milliam Marbanyang is the complete project of 11.6 kilometers, my lords.
full stop. On the Ribong to Jalupara stretch, about 120 trees.
103 trees.
103.
103
103.
103 trees, not about, 103 trees are proposed to be felled for the land to be taken over for the purpose of the construction of the flyover. However, the petition has been filed by a concerned lawyer, full stop. Though it is clarified that the attempt is not to stall any development project or any effort to ease traffic congestion in Shillong, the apprehension is that the trees are felled even before the project is on the
How to make and withdraw profits at owning trade. To make a deposit.
Thank you. Please deposit it and collect it at 4 o'clock. Yes, sir. Please deposit your phone, collect it at 4 o'clock. Please deposit your phone in court. Yes. Give it to me at 4 o'clock, not before that. What did I say? Is that even before the project is on the drawing board, the trees are felled and the project never takes off. Full stop. What is the name of the company? National Highways Infrastructure Development. The National Highways Infrastructure Development Company Limited.
Infrastructure and Development Company.
Infrastructure and Development Company Limited, bracket, the acronym, is represented and says that the contract had already been issued, but upon the contractor foreclosing the same, steps have been issued to invite new offers, and the last date for receipt of the same is March 15, 2023. Full stop. The NHIFDCL submits that about 26 trees have already been felled, and the further felling activity will be undertaken only to ensure that the handing over of the land to the contractor is not delayed. Full stop. There also appeared to be certain problems regarding acquisition of land, and NH whatever assures the court that no trees in the disputed areas would be felled before the actual process of acquisition is completed.
Lord, acquisition is complete because these are the private lands, my lord.
The acquisition is complete.
If for this particular stretch it is complete,
then
barring some portion.
Then barring some portions, where with that they are concerned with those portions.
Yeah, but these trees are not on those portions, my lord.
What is that?
Paragraph, the same line, same sentence, the same paragraph. It is submitted on behalf of the state that the trees referred to by the petitioner are not within the disputed areas where acquisition has not yet been completed. Full stop. Paragraph. Both the state and NH, IDCL or whatever indicate that in accordance with the practice now in place, for trees felled for the purpose of any infrastructure project, land has to be acquired elsewhere and a degree of afforestation undertaken. Full stop. Paragraph. The petitioner, however, points out that it is possible that even after the acquisition of the land for the flyover project, comma, trees are planted in the area so that some of the pristine nature may be restored despite the unavoidable development work undertaken. Paragraph. Since it does not appear that any mindless or irresponsible felling of trees has been indulged in, comma, the petition appears to have worked itself out, full stop. PIL so-and-so is disposed of by recording the submission of NH whatever IDCL that the further felling of the 77 trees would only be undertaken to ensure that there is no delay in handing over the land to the chosen contractor and not in advance, full stop. NHIDCL will also be obliged to ensure that an equivalent number of trees are planted in or around the area where the trees have been or are being felled, and that the newly planted trees are taken care of for a period of about a year so that they ultimately grow up to replace the felled ones. Full stop. This will be in addition to the other afforestation work required to be undertaken elsewhere in terms with the present practice. Full stop. That's it.
There is one more aspect to this matter.
Yes.
Because and that is reflected in the last order also, my lord. My lord, the entire stage is divided into 5 packages, my lord. This is package 1 starting from Shillong and package 5 ends at Dauki, my lord. Only at present the work of package 2nd and package 4th is going on, my lord. 3rd, because of alignment of road has not been finalized near Peninsula town, my lord. Number 1 went into rough weathers because of pipelines not shifting and electric poles not shifting, my lord. And package 5 is also facing similar kind of disturbance, my lord.
So this entire thing is construction is from where to where?
From Shillong till
From
Dauki.
Anjali Point, Shillong, that petrol pump, my lord.
Yes.
Dauki.
Flyover starts from this place and till Dauki, my lord.
So Jalupada
is just to connect this, my lord.
very well.
To decongest the flyover, my lord.
It is submitted on behalf of NHIDCL that the Ribong to Jalupada flyover is only a part of the 5-part contract, a 5-part project pertaining to the proposed expansion, widening and development of the Shillong to Dauki road. The 5 packages are the following, colon.
My lord, on last occasion I've given a chart I have one more copy.
No, no, if you give me
Some colored maps, my lord.
No, last occasion. This is the one.
where do you find the 5?
My lord, I've given a note on the front page, my lord.
Very good. Colon, Shillong to Milliam. What is the distance?
11.6 kilometers.
11.6 kilometers.
Covering 11.6 kilometers. Semicolon. Package 2 is from where to where? You have only said, not indicated where to where.
My lord, may correlate with kindly with the affidavit filed by the government, my lord.
Package 2 is from Milliam to Marbanyang. Milliam, Marbanyang to
Where do you find?
Well, it's page 4 of the state government's affidavit. Well, it's
Page 4. First is Ribong to Milliam, Marbanyang. Of the, we've told you 11 kilometers or whatever. Semicolon. Milliam Marbanyang to Wailing Cut of a length of 26.55 km. Wailing Cut to Siat Bakon covering a bypass of 8 kilometers, semicolon, Siat Bakon to Wakdiat for 17.77 kilometers, and Wakdiat to Tamabil Dauki of 7.99 kilometers. Full stop. Paragraph. Of the 5 packages, the contract for the Ribong to Milliam, Marbanyang is due to be awarded, subject to receipt of adequate response by March. So the second package awaits land acquisition in 7 pockets covering a length of 1.30 kilometer, shifting of pipelines and some electric poles. Full stop. The state has assured the court that the 7 pockets of dispute pertaining to land acquisition will be resolved by the Deputy Commissioner, East Khasi Hills as expeditiously as possible. Full stop. Such exercise should be completed, preferably, by the end of March.
Your Lordship, election is there, so
Preferably by the end of April. Full stop. In addition, the state says that the shifting of pipelines and the 5 electric poles will be completed by the Public Health Engineering Department and the Meghalaya Power Distribution Company Limited, respectively, by the end of this financial year. Full stop. The third package of 8 kilometers envisages the construction of a bypass, and land acquisition is pending for the entire stretch. It would be a shame if the other parts are completed and the entire work is stalled because of an 8-kilometer stretch, because of land being unavailable or the acquisition thereof being incomplete in respect of an 8-kilometer stretch. Full stop. The state should use its resources and authority to complete the acquisition proceedings as expeditiously as possible and preferably by the end of June 2023, so that work for such short stretch can be taken up immediately thereafter. Paragraph. For the fourth package of 17.77 kilometer, there is a dispute pertaining to the land covering 0.710 kilometer, which should be resolved by the DC East Khasi Hills with the 25 landowners by the end of April 2023. For a further 0.120 kilometer, the acquisition proceedings should also be completed expeditiously, and before the end of June 2023. Full stop. For the fifth package, some small portions of the land remain unacquired due to the disputes raised by erstwhile landowners. Full stop. The DC East Khasi Hills should again resolve the issue by the end of April 2023. Full stop. Paragraph. The state government assures the court that all necessary assistance will be provided in expeditious acquisition and the like for NH, IF, IDCL or whatever to undertake the work and complete the same as expeditiously as possible. Full stop. NH, IDCL, in turn, should complete all preparatory steps so that notices inviting tender may be issued immediately upon the acquisition of land being complete. Stop. paragraph, the widening and realignment of the Shillong to Dauki road will give a big boost to the state and aid in greater accessibility. Full stop. The corridor is ripe for environment-friendly industries to be set up. Full stop. All authorities concerned should put their best foot forward to ensure that the entire project is completed without undue delay, so that the incidental and related benefits can be enjoyed by the citizens living or working on or along the route. Full stop.
Closing the matter.
Yes, we're closing the matter.
There's only one prayer. Your lordships have directed them to plant the trees along the place where they would have been removed from. If your lordships may kindly
nearby area. You indicated nearby area. Can't be exact.
Trees of similar kind, my lords. What usually happens is some other trees are planted which actually changes the entire nature of that land.
Similar nature.
Similar nature.
Trees, similar trees.
Similar trees. I'll mention.
Well, if I could pray, my lord, the lordships could keep the matter pending, and because the project is being delayed, my lord, because of non-coordination among the various departments, my lord.
Very good. Where we have said is close, that delete that paragraph. Though the matter pertaining to felling of trees may have been appropriately addressed, since the project remains pending and there are nagging issues pertaining to acquisition in at least 3 of the stretches, the matter will remain pending and the court will monitor the progress made by the state to complete the acquisition and to hand over the land to NHIDCL on an urgent basis. Full stop. List the matter. 6 weeks hence.
6 weeks.
Item number 3.
Maybe please, your lordship, by virtue of your lordship, I have given all the notices to legals, but yet to receive the report from.
Yes, Mr. Shanmugha.
My lord, we have not received the report from the migrants regarding the mental status
Since
of
the parties say that the report sought from Milgrims has not been received, the parties should forward a copy of this order to Milgrims.
That given, your lordship.
Today's order. Today's order.
Or today's.
Milgrims, so that the appropriate report in terms of the order dated November 24, 2022 is made available by Milgrims to the parties within the next 3 weeks, latest. The matter will appear 4 weeks hence.
Much.